Conquering the overuse of passive voice. Master formal English writing. Hello, language learners. Today, we're diving into a common pitfall in formal English writing: overusing the passive voice. While passive voice has its place, it's easy to overdo it. Let's figure out how to strike the right balance together. First things first, let's make sure we're on the same page about what passive voice is. When we use the passive voice, the object of the action becomes the subject of the sentence. So, instead of saying, John wrote the book, active voice, we'd say, the book was written by John, passive voice. Passive voice isn't inherently bad. In fact, it's necessary in some formal contexts. It's great when the action is more important than who or what is performing it. It's also useful when we don't know, or don't want to specify, the actor. For example, a mistake was made. Here, we're not pointing fingers, just stating the fact. While passive voice has its uses, it can be a trap. Overusing passive voice can make your writing sound distant, verbose, and confusing. It's less direct than active voice, and too much of it can leave your readers scratching their heads, trying to figure out who did what. Here's how you can tell if you're overusing passive voice. Look out for lots of to be. Verbs like is, was, were, and been followed by a past participle. A verb ending in ed or n usually. Also, if your sentences are often longer and more convoluted than they need to be, passive voice overuse could be the culprit. So, how do we fix it? Here are some practical tips. 1. Revise your sentences. If a sentence seems too complex or vague, try rephrasing it in active voice. Compare, the book was read by Mary, to, Mary read the book. The active voice is more straightforward. 2. Use passive voice strategically. Remember, passive voice isn't always the enemy. Use it when you want to emphasize the action or when you don't want to highlight the actor. 3. Practice. Write regularly and revise your work. It might be difficult to spot passive voice at first, but with practice, you'll get the hang of it. And there you have it. You're now well on your way to mastering the balance between active and passive voice in your formal English writing. Remember, it's not about completely avoiding passive voice, but using it strategically. Keep practicing and happy writing.